Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to create a watercolor resist on crayon. We're going to use crayons, a gray and a black crayon. I'm also using a flat brush. I decided to use this one instead of a round brush. I want to see what's the effect of using a flat brush instead of a round brush. And we have a inexpensive watercolor. I got this from Amazon. And then we're going to do a lot of blendings for the sky. Okay, so let's begin. First thing, we're going to do the pine trees on the lower left corner. Okay, you can also tape your watercolor with any kind of tape. I'm using a blue tape. It gives us a nice clean background. A border, Okay, so for the pine trees, I want you to do just 2 strokes. I'm just using curved lines like this, going to the left and going to the right, going down. Okay, just very simple stroke. Right now I'm using a gray crayon. And make sure make the pine trees in a different height. I'm going to add a few more pine trees over here, and maybe down here a small one, and then lastly I'll add a narrow pine tree all the way here on the left side. Okay, next I'm going to use my black crayons. I'm simply just putting the black crayon on top of the gray one. So this is the shade. Okay, again, the stroke is going to be the same. We're just trying to make this as simple as possible. Okay, it's looking good. Looks like the pine trees are done. I'm just tweaking, some areas here and there. It looks good. Alright, next I'm going to do the branches. Right? I'm still using the black crayon. So right now I'm just making like lines. We can add, the thickness of the bark later on. Just right now, just make just a thin line. Alright, now as you can see, I'm making the branches like curved. It kind of represents motion. There's like air blowing the branches. And after that, I'm going to add more branches. And when you get to the tip of the branches, I want you guys to at least release pressure on the crayons. Don't put too much pressure so that you will get like a thinner line. Okay? And don't use the side of the crayons. Try to use the tip. I know it's hard if you already used up the crayons. You know, sometimes when you use up the crayons, you lose the point. Okay. Now I'm adding more branches over here. Maybe one over here. It's looking good. Okay, so I'm adding more branches. I'm trying to cover some of the negative space there. Alright, looks good. Now, we can start adding, thickening the bark of the tree. So I'm adding more pressure to my crayon. Okay, I use the side of the crayon to make a broader line. Okay, looks good. I think the bark is done, and let's add the birds. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just making a small circle for the head and an oval for the body and a small triangle. Okay, so a circle for the head, an oval, and a triangle for the tail. And here's another one, standing on that small branch, and let's make another one here. I think I'm going to make 4 birds. There you go. I think I'm happy with the look of this drawing. Now let's go into glaze the watercolor paper. Again, I'm using a flat brush. I'm going to glaze over the watercolor paper. Now, water and oil doesn't mix together. That's why when you put the water on top of the crayon, it's not going to mix. It's repelling the water because crayon is made of wax. Okay, so I'm just going to dampen the paper. Make sure you cover the entire paper with water. All right. Okay. Now it's very important not to put like a puddle of water on the paper. Right now I'm checking the areas if I miss any spots. I hold the paper in an angle so that I can see. There should be like a shine when you hold the paper on an angle. It kind of reflects your lamp. Maybe you can see it. It's kind of hard to see in this video. Okay, now I see a spot that needs to be wet again. All right. Okay, now let's add the color. Now, right now, I'm going to start from the top. I'm using blue. I'm loading my brush with blue. And then apply that on the very top of the paper. Okay. Now, my brush strokes here is it's like a gentle dabbing on the paper. Okay, so you can use the chisel tip or the corner of the brush. Just keep on dabbing and try to recreate clouds. Right, you can add more blue to make the the pigment darker. Okay, so keep dabbing. And then if you want the water, the blue to fade out, you can just add a small amount of water and then just spread that all the way down. Okay, so right now I'm adding water to make the pigment lighter. Okay, so and then I'm going to stop about there. That's about 3 inches. Okay, next I'm going to do the lower part of the painting. All right, right there I'm going to use red. Okay, the same process. Going to clean up my brush, make sure that there is no blue stain in the paintbrush. I'm going to get my red and start from the bottom. Okay. All right, same thing, same technique. Just dab the paintbrush. As you notice, I'm going on top of the bark and the pine tree, and then the crayon is just doing its job, repelling the water and the color. It's not mixing well. Okay, the next part here, I'm going to add more red. Make it more intense. Okay, and then adjusting with water again. I want, you know, that red to be lighter, so I'm not adding any more color to my paintbrush, just adding water and blending it together so that I have that nice gradient look. Next, we're going to add orange. Okay, now this orange is going to be placed on the edge of that red, as you can see there. Okay, it's too much orange, so I'm adding more water and blending it nicely with the red. Okay, just keep blending. Add water if you need to. If you need to adjust the intensity of the orange. Okay, just keep dabbing your paintbrush. Now, when you're gliding on the paper, make sure you're not rubbing too hard on the paper. Sometimes, you know, if your paper is wet, it kind of destroys it lifts up the fiber of the paper. Okay, so just be mindful on that. Don't rub too hard. All right, so we are done with the orange. Now I think I'm going to use yellow, but first I have to clean my brush again, because I don't want that extra stain, you know, leftover orange in the paintbrush. Alright, so let's get some more water and mix some paint. Alright, I think there's the yellow. I'm adding water again and spreading that yellow on top. Alright, now be careful when you are touching the blue, because the blue paint might be still wet. We don't want that to mix with yellow, because it will create a secondary color. We're going to make green if you reactivate that blue watercolor, so be careful on that. Okay, so just keep blending. More yellow on this side, and adding a little bit of water to soften it. Okay. Okay, I think I'm happy that look. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow here. Okay, now I'm going to touch the lower part of the painting again. Let's see. I'm going to add purple on the top because I want a darker color on the top of the paper. And so I'm going to create my own purple. I'm mixing red and blue to create a purple. Now I'm just doing this if you don't have purple in your watercolor set. Okay, so let's add that purple on the very top. Okay, now if it's too dark, if the purple is dark, you can always add just a touch of water to make it lighter. Okay, so add more purple. Right now I'm just adding a fine, I'm kind of detailing at this stage. Adding more purple to it. Okay. Yeah, just use your imagination on this part. Just play around with the brush and the small stain on the brush. You can create like a majestic clouds on this. Just have fun and use your imagination. I'm using the corner of the brush, to spread this purpley color. Okay, just adding some few more details. Just relax and have some fun. Let the water and the pigment, work together. You're the creator of this painting. You can do whatever you want. If you want to make the sky a little darker, a little lighter, it's up to you. Okay, looks nice. Okay, next I'm going to tweak the red part, the lower part of the painting. I'm adding more red to make it more darker and a little dramatic. Now I can see that there's a harsh line going on in there, so I'm adding more water to my brush and just blend that red. Add more water and then blend it again. I can see some hard lines, so this is what I'm doing. I'm blending that red. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Okay, the watercolor is dry. I think it's time to take off the tape. So take off the tape very slowly. Make sure you don't rip the actual painting. It's very satisfying to peel off the tape and reveals the nice clean border. Okay, last one, and we're almost done. Okay, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this simple activity today that I present to you. And you can sign your name on the corner. And I hope you subscribe to my channel. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.